Welcome back. You're with us at the Big C at CNBC-TV18 Prime. And joining us now is Mr. Sunil Singh, is former MD at NAFED. Mr. Singh, hi, thank you so much for joining in. You know, there is a Vision 2047 that India has put out for various industries, especially for agriculture as a sector as well. And now when you look at within this space, and almost every sector and industry seems to be putting out their plans and targets for 2047. Now, when we talk about agriculture, especially pulses within this, the Indian government has been putting out a target of self-sufficiency for 2030-31. There also was a report that I was reading from PIB which says that India's production is estimated to reach around nearly 45.8 million tons by 2047. With so many numbers coming in and so many targets being put out, especially with the fact that you're looking at advanced farming being promoted, multi-pronged strategy being put out, production increase is another thing that I see on the chart here. How are you looking at the progress to meet all of these targets which are laid out in various years until 2047?
Manisha ji, just to explain the various programs which have been laid out by Government of India, and just reading out with the objective of achieving the pulse sufficiency in the country. Government of India has come out very well with the National Pulse Mission program, which aims to increase the production of pulses in the country by another 10 million metric ton by 2030-31. This is the need of the hour. If you just recall, in these 10 years since 2015, the critical year that we had, India has added 10 million metric tons to its pulses production. And it has been a very good growth, because if you just analyze the delta or the gap between the supply and demand of pulses in 2025 remains the same as that of 2015-16. Therefore, the production numbers which has come within these 10 years, they have been able to meet the increasing demand of pulses in the country. And the pulses which I see, it's just not a self-sufficiency in the production numbers. We need to target for the nutritional sufficiency for the classes, for the masses, because India is a vegetarian country. That way, it is a very good initiative of the government to focus on the pulses program. Unlike oil seeds, where Honorable Prime Minister himself has given a call to reduce its consumption, here is a produce which needs increased consumption. And if you recall, about 3-4 years back, when we had the World Pulses Day celebration in India, we devised a slogan, grow more, eat more. And I say that with this national mission plan, we are working towards that. And it will be a good income for the farmers. It will be good source of protein for the consumers. And we can meet the requirement of the affordable pulses with sufficient availability in the domestic market. So in a way, this mission is achieving the whole objective of the Government of India for having a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And maybe like in these 5 years, with the targeted approach, the country shall be able to add 10 million metric tons. But again, I must reiterate that there has to be a focused attention. We need to identify the pulses whose growth we can look at, the areas where we can look at. We have to diversify from cereals and grains to pulses.
Mr. Singh, when you look at the import policy, how well would you say that is aligned with all of these mission objectives?
Well, if you just analyze the policies in these last 5 years, they have been quite dynamic. And I must appreciate the Government of India that they have been taking initiatives to contain the prices of the pulses in the country, as well plan for a policy which does get the overseas growers also to continue growing those pulses. And from a time in 2017, when we had the complete change, because till 2015-16, you had a 0% import era. And after 2016-17, when the country had the national buffer, policy changes were made, and they were time and again changed or analyzed to balance the domestic requirement as well the domestic availability. I see that in the present circumstances, with this 30% duty imposition on yellow peas, which has been a demand of the trade, I see that government may review the policy on chickpeas and lentil also, because in lentil, government is committed to procure 100% of the produce. And in chickpeas also, I expect that there should be a good production in the coming Rabi season.
Mr. Singh, I take your point well that the government has been constantly assuring farmers of 100% purchase. How viable is that? Because that is something that does not seem very effective. Because when you look at the prices, we've seen them continue to decline below MSP. The whole of 2025 as a calendar year clearly hasn't been very supportive when you talk about pulses prices.
Manisha ji, let me just explain you what I think of the MSP prices all through the year and the harvest period. The government of India initiates or takes steps to procure pulses at MSP during 90 days of the harvest, when the farmers have to be heavily protected. As regards the 100% procurement, it has been assured that those farmers who register themselves on NAFED and NCC portal, they would be assured of 100% procurement, because if you recall, there is a limit of 25% procurement state-wise. Now it has been made on a national basis, and it is just an administrative exercise on the demand of the states and the evaluation of the requirement of further procurement. The central government, on the request of the state governments, does enhance this limit. It is just not sacrosanct that it is just limited to 25%. But yes, there are limitations of physical procurement, and I see that the Bhavantar scheme, which has been implemented by government of MP in this season for soybean, it is a welcome step. And we need to have such schemes which can balance out the immediate requirement of payment to the farmers on the differential side, the price deficiency, as well the physical procurement. Over the years, many technological innovations have taken place. So, in my view, there should be a review, or there may be a review of the process of procurement as well price deficiency payment scheme, and we can build a hybrid model where the farmers have a choice, or the states have a choice of procuring uh, physical stock from a certain price level and leave it to the market to pick up the stock from X point, where I just explained, like right now, if the soybean is ruling around 45, 4600, and the MSP is 5,328. So you have in this hybrid model, there can be a choice that if the trade wants to pick up a stock which is above the market level or at the market level, say like 4,600, they pick up the stock, they take it as a raw material for the unit, and rest aside, if the market is quite repressive, it can be physically purchase stock and later dispose when the market improves.
Absolutely.
So in that way, what will happen is the farmer would be getting the MSP, and the government resources would also not be put to lot much of stress in terms of logistics.
So, Mr. Singh, while, as you mentioned, I mean, it's a great scheme. It's a 2.0, really. We've seen that happen for soybean, but do you think it's feasible for pulses? Because I was talking to Cotton Association of India very recently, and they wanted Bhavantar for their segment as well, because MSP clearly doesn't seem to be working for many sectors.
In my personal view, oilseeds or any cash crop like cotton, and as you mentioned about cotton, so oilseeds and cotton, they make a good case for the Bhavantar, because these two producers, they are directly processed by the industrial units, rather it in whole, as in the case of pulses. So for a try, like we can move on to oilseeds and cotton on a Bhavantar scheme, and if these pilots are successful, you can take it at a bigger scale.
That sounds good. Mr. Singh, also, what is that you're looking at in sense of Rabi sowing right now? I mean, it's been one erratic of year of weather that we've seen, the longest of perhaps monsoons and quick winters, harsher winters is what we hear as well. What is it that you're looking at in sense of number for sowing and the crop condition till time?
As of now, the situation remains good. There has been good numbers, and there has been increase in the sowing of pulses as well, the mustard seed. I have been to some areas of Rajasthan very recently, and I was there in Madhya Pradesh. There also I saw good fields. The soil health was also very good. The sown crops were also good. So in back of a very good prices of mustard seed, which the growers have got in the recent years, I expect the mustard seed cultivation to grow, and so is in the condition of chana, because there is a robust demand. The prices have remained more or less close to MSP. So in the earlier years, where you had a 500 to 600 price difference between MSP and the market rate, so that is not happening in chana. So I expect good production of chana, lentil, and this mustard seed in the coming Rabi season.
All right, that's good to know. At least the availability and the food security and lower inflation as something that perhaps would just about continue. Mr. Singh, as always, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you for weighing in on various subjects when it comes to agriculture, especially pulses there. With that, that's all the time that we have on this show. Thank you for watching.